In a small town in Oregon, there lived a young man named Logan Hayes. He was 26, worked long shifts at a local lumber mill, and rented a modest apartment on the edge of town. From the outside, Logan's life looked fine. He had food, a job, a truck that got him where he needed to go. But inside, Logan was bitter. Every morning, his alarm felt like punishment. When it rained, he cursed the weather. When it was sunny, he complained it was too hot. His co-workers joked that if there was ever an Olympic sport for complaining, Logan would take the gold. To him, life just seemed unfair. Everyone else seemed happier, richer, luckier. And the more he focused on what was wrong, the heavier everything felt. One Friday afternoon, exhausted and frustrated, Logan skipped dinner and drove aimlessly. He ended up at Clearwater Park, a quiet place with a wide river and tall pine trees swaying in the breeze. He sat by the water, muttering to himself, "I work hard every day, and nothing changes. Life's just against me." A voice came from behind him. "You sure it's life that's against you, or is it your way of looking at it?" Logan turned around to see an older man sitting on a bench, white beard, baseball cap, denim jacket, the kind of person who seemed both rugged and peaceful. The man smiled. "Name's Mr. Collins. You look like someone carrying a heavy load." Logan sighed. "You got that right. Nothing ever works out." Mr. Collins reached down and picked up a small rock from the ground. He handed it to Logan. "Hold this rock out in front of you." Logan frowned but did it anyway, arms stretched straight. At first, it was easy. A minute passed. Then 5. His arm began to ache. 10 minutes in, his shoulder burned, his hand shook. He finally dropped the rock. "What's the point of that?" The old man smiled. "That rock wasn't heavy at first, was it? But holding it too long made it unbearable. Life's the same way. The weight you feel isn't from what happens to you. It's from holding on to complaints, anger, and resentment." Logan stared at the river, letting those words sink in. "So you're saying my attitude's the problem?" "I'm saying your attitude is the power you don't realize you have," said Mr. Collins. "You can't control every storm, but you can control how you walk through it." That night, Logan couldn't sleep. He kept hearing the man's voice. "The weight you feel isn't from life, but from what you hold on to." The next morning, his alarm rang at 5003 as usual. For once, he didn't groan. He whispered to himself, "New day, new start." At the mill, instead of complaining about the noise, he focused on keeping pace. When his co-worker Mike spilled coffee on the floor, Logan didn't snap. He laughed it off. When the machine jammed, instead of cursing, he took a breath and fixed it quietly. Little by little, something inside him began to shift. At lunch, one of the older workers said, "You seem different lately, Hayes. What's up?" Logan shrugged. "Just trying not to make things heavier than they already are." Over the next few weeks, his attitude started changing more than just his mood. It changed his life. He began greeting people with a smile. He helped new workers learn the ropes. His boss noticed his consistency and offered him extra hours, and eventually a supervisor role. At home, he started fixing things he'd ignored for months: the broken lamp, the leaky faucet. Even his dog, Max, seemed to wag his tail more. When it rained, Logan stopped saying, "Great, more bad weather." Instead, he looked out the window and said, "The trees need it." His mom called one night, and after hearing his calm voice, she said, "I don't know what's changed, but you sound at peace." And he was. A few months later, Logan returned to Clearwater Park. The air was cool, the sun just setting behind the hills. He looked around for Mr. Collins, but the man wasn't there. He sat down by the same riverbank and smiled. He picked up a smooth rock from the ground and turned it in his hand. "Life isn't heavy," he whispered to himself. "It's how you carry it." He dropped the stone into the water and watched the ripples spread outward, just like the changes in his life. He realized that the river never stopped flowing, no matter what fell into it. Maybe life was like that, constant, unstoppable, but also forgiving. Logan stood up, took a deep breath, and whispered, "Thank you, Mr. Collins." Logan's story isn't about luck or miracles. It's about awareness. He didn't get a new job, win the lottery, or move to a new city. What changed was how he looked at the same world he'd always lived in. When he changed his attitude, everything around him began to reflect that change. People responded differently. Opportunities appeared. His energy drew positivity instead of resistance. And that's the truth most people never realize. Your attitude doesn't just color your day, it shapes your reality. Because life will always have problems. Bills will pile up. People will disappoint you. Plans will fall apart. But your power lies in your response, in your choice to carry peace instead of frustration, gratitude instead of resentment. You can't always control circumstances, but you can control your attitude. And when you do, life stops feeling like a burden. It starts feeling like an adventure. So today, take a look at your own life. What are the rocks you've been holding on to? Old grudges? Negative thoughts? Self-pity? Let them go. Because the longer you hold them, the heavier they get. Remember, the same sunrise that shines on one man's frustration can also light up another man's gratitude. The difference isn't the world, it's the attitude. Change your attitude. And you won't just change how you see life, you'll change your entire life. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs a little reminder today. And don't forget to subscribe for more powerful, life-changing stories.